It is no longer news that Nigerian tech startups are attracting foreign investors such as Y Combinator, PayPal, and other venture capital firms like magnets. Their ingenuity in the ICT space on the African continent has opened up prospects for e-commerce and e-payment systems like never before. One of such leading tech startups is Flutterwave, a fintech that provides payment infrastructure for global merchants and payment service providers across the African continent. Founded in 2016 by Iyinoluwa, Aboyeji, and Olugbenga Agboola, early this year, Flutterwave raised $170 million through a Series C funding round. At the time, this was the largest amount ever secured by an African tech startup, and it gave a valuation of over $1 billion, making the company a unicorn. In business parlance, a unicorn is a privately held startup company valued at over $1 billion. To give us some insight on how the company intends to provide the fastest and seamless payment solutions across the African continent, we're now joined by the duo of Olugbenga Agboola and Oluwabankole Falade, respectively the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Regulatory Officer of Flutterwave. Welcome to the show, Gbenga and Bankole. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be here.
Yes, good morning. And
morning. Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you too for joining us. Very quickly, I want to say that you guys are doing very well in Mr. Macaroni's voice. I hope you know who Mr. Macaroni is. And there are many young Nigerians who are very proud of what you are doing. But I have two questions, one for Gbenga and then the other one for Bankole. Gbenga Agboola, I would like you to talk to us about fintech and what the secret is, how you guys have been able to build this payment platform into the giant that it has become, in spite of the regulatory challenges that you faced. And then Bankole Falade, well, you just joined Flutterwave. You've been in the business of government regulation and all of that. What are you bringing to the table? What value are you planning to add? And if you could just talk to us about this recent partnership with the Tigers. What is that all about? Yesterday on this program, I was commending Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and GT Bank for providing support for the Tigers and hoping that, with all of that support, we'll be able to bring the medal home. But in specific terms, what is Flutterwave doing for those superstars who are doing Nigeria proud? Gbenga, you go first.
Thank you so much for being here today. I think it's very important to know that at Flutterwave, our goal is to help small businesses in Nigeria to accept payments from anywhere in the world. We believe that with fintech technologies powered by partner banks, and obviously we are a product of the amazing regulation of the Central Bank of Nigeria, which has created an enabling environment for companies like us to thrive in Nigeria and even scale beyond the shores of Nigeria at the moment. Part of what we've been able to do at Flutterwave is very focused on how we can help SMEs scale. For example, last year during the pandemic and when things were at a very high lockdown rate, we were able to build what we call the Flutterwave store, which basically is designed to help SMEs in Nigeria to sell more and sell online without having to invest in physical shops. In that period, we were able to onboard a lot of small merchants on our platform, and they basically were able to sell their product effectively using Flutterwave. And the goal really is, deepening Nigeria's expertise in payments, right? We're a poster child of Nigeria at its finest. An example of that would be Nigeria, for example, led the way in ATM chip and PIN cards in the world. We've got the best infrastructure in real-time payments in the world today. So Flutterwave is just an expression of that same excellence that Nigeria has, and obviously the vision of the payment system of Nigeria, in ensuring that payment infrastructure that we have in this country is exported and we make it available as well to help in creating financial inclusion.
Okay, thank you. Bankole, over to you. Bankole?
Yeah, so thank you again for having us. I think let me just sort of jump on some of the things Gbenga said around, the regulatory environment. Our payment systems vision in Nigeria is one of the best visions you could see worldwide. I think it's been stated that we want to be, globally recognized, which Benga has given some examples: real-time payments, chip and pin. Flutterwave is also a product of the enabling environment led by the current vision of the central bank. Couple of things that Nigeria is also leading on is Nigeria is one of the first countries to start a regulatory sandbox for fintechs and innovators, where you could come work with the regulator, the central bank, develop your solutions in a controlled environment before you roll that out to the world. The central bank is currently also working on open banking regulations. That's something as well that would enable payments and scale and enable new players, new fintech providers to work directly with the big banks and all players to provide services to Nigerian consumers. I think your question as to what I'm bringing to the table, look, I'd like to say my number one role is to kind of build bridges and work with the regulators to secure alignment. We need their help. We need to scale. We need to project Nigeria to the world. We can't do that without the support of the central bank. We're grateful for all the support Flutterwave has received in 5 years of operations. And my job is to work with them, get a lot more of that support, help them understand our business. Innovation is fast, it's rapid, it keeps growing. I dare say sometimes innovators are even faster, way ahead of their regulators. So my job is to carry the regulators along, ensure that, look, they understand what we're doing, they understand what we need, and we're able to project Nigeria to the world, build a world-class business. I'd also like to relate that to Flutterwave support for the D Tigers. So, it's innovation, really. It's about taking Nigeria to the world. So it's no strange thing that, we're one of the sponsors of the basketball. Basketball is a sport that is not as big as football, soccer in Nigeria, but, it's new. A lot of young people are catching up to that. We saw the remarkable performance at the exhibition game. First time ever that's not just an African team, but a Nigerian team will do so well, beat the US team. We're expecting more of that, and we're supporting more of that, taking Nigeria to the world. I think that's the dreaming for all waivers at Flutterwave. Thank you.
Right. It was, big news that Flutterwave was amongst those denied pioneer status and that really useful 3-year tax holiday. Now, you've both talked about the regulatory environment that exists, which you appreciate, of course, and the enabling environments as well. But what more needs to be done to encourage businesses such as yours to grow and expand?
So I would say the support we've been getting so far just needs to continue. It's very obvious that with that enabling environment and support, we would put Nigeria where Nigeria is supposed to be globally. And we will also do things to ensure that we align our activities with economic value for Nigeria. Even being a fintech, what we see ourselves as being an enabler of creating jobs, helping SMEs in Nigeria to resell more, reach more customers. And, if you can enable 1 million SMEs to reach more customers today in Nigeria, that means, over 2-3 million jobs can be created. So our goal is, how do we help SMEs to sell more using our platform and ensure that we create value for SMEs in Nigeria across the board?
Right. I'm really excited talking to you guys, and great job you guys have done, pushing the name of Nigeria forward. But I want to talk on the grand scale. What is the grand plan? What is the future plan? Because payment is a big deal. I think it was this morning that one of the biggest stories out of payment came out that Revolut, an online bank in the UK, raised $800 million US dollars, and that jacked their capitalization up to 33 billion. And obviously that online bank just became bigger than NatWest that have been there for since God knows when, overnight. And that's to show you the mammoth nature of the market itself and the money that comes into it. What are the plans? I know Flutterwave is not just looking at Nigeria, they're taking on Africa. What are the plans? What are the grand plans? You've got a lot of competitors in the market. You've got aggressive plans to scale and to iterate. Is there any plans Flutterwave will be blitz scaling anytime soon? What are we to expect? I'll take the co-founder first, then the chief regulator will come in. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think the goal here really is to we want to be everywhere in Nigeria. We want to go beyond just a few people who use Flutterwave to everybody in a part of their life. You are paying for your bills. You are paying for an airline ticket. You are trying to pay school fees. We want to be there when payment is being made in Nigeria, making payments simple, making it seamless, and making it efficient as well. We want to make it easy for an SME selling in Lagos to reach customers in the US, in the UK, outside Nigeria. We want to export Nigeria services to the globe. We want to make it easy for a small merchant in Nigeria to be able to, earn foreign currency, to be able to earn, naira, to be able to scale across board. So really, our goal is to deepen our penetration in Nigeria and be in every state, be in everywhere payment is happening, be a partner for success for our young, small businesses and even the large ones as well. So the goal really is, be everywhere and make sure that we create value as we go along.
So just to add as well, I think the vision of Flutterwave is enabling payments for endless possibilities. Endless possibilities for us means, look, Nigeria is one country, Africa is one continent. Why can't Nigeria lead Africa in integration? Why can't Nigeria export goods, services to the rest of Africa, to the rest of the world? How do we at Flutterwave enable that? How do we at Flutterwave help the continents be one market, one big country? How do we expand Africa to the globe? So, like GB said, we want to be everywhere. We want to enable SMEs. We want to support government's vision, create more jobs, create more commerce, assist with development and, achievement of, grand economic objectives.
Okay, well, gentlemen, we need to take a short break. And when we return, the conversation with you will continue. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Olugbenga Agboola, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the morning show here on the Arise News channel. Our guests, we still have Olugbenga Agboola Oluwabankole Falade, the Chief Executive Officer and Chief Regulatory Officer of Flutterwave, respectively. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for staying with us. Very quickly, the next set of questions. Falade, I would like to ask you about the regulatory environment. We all know that the CBN recently gave a directive that fintechs can no longer have access to know your customer facilities, particularly the BVN. And you have been talking all morning about, cooperation between government and, fintech platforms. But there are some people who think that, look, there is some kind of conflict between old and new money, and that the Central Bank of Nigeria is deliberately attacking fintechs. And on this program, we've said a lot about that with regard to cryptocurrency and all of that. We'd like to have your very honest opinion about this new dispensation in Nigeria. And for you, Olugbenga Agboola, there is this concern about international payment platforms, particularly, PayPal and others, rejecting payments from Nigeria. What are the issues involved? What should be the concern of customers? Let me start with you, Bankole.
So thank you very much for the question. So I would say, look, we've got a very progressive regulator in the central bank. Sometimes we do have a misunderstanding of what fintechs do, what our business is. And I think that's where we need to do a lot more as fintech players, in explaining our business models, our challenges, the support we require from the regulator. I think we've done quite well. We've got a very good working relationship, not just with the CBN, but we've also got a good working relationship with NIBS, who is the custodian of, the BVN data, which you just mentioned. We've got a good working relationship as well with a lot of the commercial banks. Yes, there will be issues. There will be times where, policy might conflict with, what innovators like us want to achieve. We've seen that in the past, but usually what always comes to the fore is if we're able to sit together, work with the regulators, explain, the risk related to, the particular issues that they have raised, and, find a resolution which ultimately benefits all consumers. That's what we do. And then that's what as a business, we try to do with the central bank in Nigeria and in other markets as well.
Okay, Gbenga, restrictions placed on payments from Nigeria by international payment platforms like PayPal.
I think that is a thing of the past because Flutterwave is now here, right? We enable payments for our customers from anywhere in the world today. And the goal really is what payment type do you want to accept available on Flutterwave. We are working with PayPal as well in enabling more payment infrastructure across Africa. But I think for Nigeria today, Nigeria's payment system is very advanced. And if anybody wants to accept payments from any customer anywhere else in the world, they can use Flutterwave to make that happen. We've built an infrastructure that connects to all payment types in the world, from MasterCard to Visa, to Discover to American Express. All those payment types can be accepted today via Flutterwave. So I think it's a thing of the past now. With Flutterwave are available. You can just go online, sign up for our services, and you'll be able to accept payments once we've done the proper KYC on your business.
Right, let's take it to brass tacks. You've just talked about the network that you've built, but many of our viewers may not actually understand what exactly it is you do and why you feel you should be ubiquitous. So tell us.
So Flutterwave basically helps you to accept payment from your customers in a very simple form, right? We enable your payment to happen via invoices, via payment link, or if you're an e-commerce store owner, you can sell online with Flutterwave. We have payment APIs that allow you to accept payment from your customers anywhere in the world, including Nigeria, obviously. And what we've built basically allows, a Nigerian business in Kano, in Abuja, in Lagos, wherever you are in Nigeria, you can basically be able to export your services to customers in Nigeria and people outside of Nigeria as well. So what we do basically is we help you pay your customers. We also help you collect payment from your customers.
All right, amazing stuff. Real quickly, I just want to ask this. Amidst all of this fast evolving payment space and technological development, I want to talk about the grand case of cybersecurity in all of this. Can you give us assurances of your back end? Is it very strong? We saw the case in America recently, ransomwares, some pipelines were hacked into and the likes, and we see this across board, and even some payment platforms. What are those assurances? And I just want to know, for personal curiosity, is most of the technology developed by, solid Nigerian team of coders and developers? What is it like?
That's a very good question. We've got, what I would say, the best soft team in cybersecurity at Flutterwave. We have amazing people building world-class technology infrastructure to ensure that our systems are secure. But beyond that, today, we also have what we call third-party validation for our security. We have PCI Level 1 compliance. We have auditors like KPMG working with us on compliance and infrastructure reviews. We have what we call our data privacy audits done, where we ensure that data privacy is done in line with Nigeria data privacy rules. And all of that basically is to verify and check that we are really, world class when it comes to security as required by both our regulators and also by, best practices.
Right, Chief Regulator, you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that's really your area, security regulation, cybersecurity, and all of that.
Yes, so, as Gbenga mentioned, we're also connected to partners, the global brands in payments as well. So we also get work with them, with their cybersecurity teams. We track transactions, monitor that, all transaction sets are legitimate. We flag any suspicious or funny transactions. We also are building a new working relationship with law enforcement agencies as well to try and help and assist them with investigation, because we know that there would always be bad actors. There would always be attempts to penetrate systems, and then also bridge processes. So we know that is going to happen. That's going to happen. So we are also working, starting a new working relationship with law enforcement agencies to assist them in their investigations, learn from case studies that they have seen, so that we can continue to improve our processes and systems, and we can also provide general assurance to all our users that, look, Flutterwave is safe, the payment system in Nigeria is safe, and that, encourage more people to get online and start to use electronic payments.
Okay, gentlemen, just before we wrap up, I would like to ask one question. What, in your opinion, from your experience, is the future of money? And I ask that question because of the controversy over cryptocurrency. I'm sure you know a guy called Nassim Taleb, who wrote the Bitcoin Standard, and who said, oh, this is the future. But he just wrote another book, The Black Swan, in which he has changed his mind. He says cryptocurrency is too fragile, too uncertain, too unreliable. And of course, at the same time, you have a country like El Salvador, which has said it's adopting the Bitcoin as a national currency. And then you have countries from Nigeria to China who are talking about digital currency. So what should we expect in terms of both the future of cryptocurrency and the future of money itself? Benga.
That's a very interesting question. So the future of money, in my opinion, is still going to be linked to the value exchange backing. Money is money because it's backed by a central bank of a country, of Nigeria, for example, for Naira, right? And money is money because obviously when that value is exchanged, that value can also be reused across board. I think that's intrinsic theory holds for anything that value is changing, and that I think will remain as is, irrespective of how we exchange money. But I think what is very critical is how we exchange money will change. So it's looking at how music was like 10, 15 years ago. Music were on record players, they were on CDs, now it's on likes of Spotify, Apple Music. So I don't think money is going to change the way it is, but how we exchange money will definitely evolve, and that evolution would happen. A couple of years ago, the Central Bank of Nigeria did a cashless policy where, you can't pay your staff anymore with paper instruction. You have to use electronic payment infrastructure. That's a sign of evolution in my world. So, future of money really is just a constant evolution. There will be evolution around how value is exchanged, but that value itself will remain as value, whatever form or shape it may take.
Okay, Bankole,
do you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Yes. So let me start by saying if we knew this answer, we'll probably build 10 Flutterwaves across the globe. But on a serious note, I think, to sort of agree with what Olugbenga has said, I think money would always be driven by the sovereign backing and value that it generates. The form factor, however, will continue to evolve. It will be driven by consumer and people's needs. What is convenient for them? Is it more convenient for me to accept paper? Do I trust paper more? Or would an instruction on my phone suffice for me to exchange value? I think that consumer need will drive innovation. The different form factors will change, continue to evolve, but money will continue to be money as long as it is backed by some sovereign guarantee or the other.
Well, thank you very much, Bankole Falade and Olugbenga Agboola, for joining us on the morning show. Thank you very much indeed, and we wish you all the best. As I said at the beginning, you are doing very well in Mr. Macaroni's voice.